Hello and welcome to my first little guide about Valkyrie Idle. Um, since the game is kinda new, I wanted to make a quick guide to help out new players to figure out where to start, where to put your champs at, and what to do overall. So I went ahead and did a new account about an hour ago. It's been 1 hour and 10 minutes, or 11 minutes to be exact. And yeah, I basically didn't really upgrade anything besides the stuff I have to do for the quest, like my companion at the moment and my gear before that. I try to use as less of the resources as I can, but I used skills and I did a few promotions already, and also the gold I used up just to get a little bit ahead in the game, so I get enough resources to actually show you what to do. So first things first, in pretty much any idle game, what you want to do is get every stat that is limited. For example, at the moment we got the exchange event for carrots, and you have to farm plenty to get a lot of rewards. But one reward is the skin, the carrot skin, and to get this you need 5,000 carrots. It sounds a lot, but actually if you can abuse the option of low power idle mode, this option, you can farm those quite fast. What you're gonna do for that, and that's like pretty much the first basic you want to know, you go down to some level where you can one-shot everything. Okay, so we see, okay, we can one-shot everything. We go ahead and see if the later stage is still the same. Okay, we see we kinda struggle here already to one-shot. So what you're going to do, we are at 5-1, so we go down to 4-1 now and see if it works better here. Yeah, that looks much better. So since we found a stage where we can basically one-shot everything, it doesn't look like a one-shot because it's many enemies here. But basically, since we found a stage where we can one-shot everything, what we are going to do is go to low power mode and just rest. So if you don't have the option to do that like over the day, and that's understandable, for example you're at work, you're at school, you cannot leave your phone out all the time, and maybe you can't even charge it at the place you work at. So therefore you still don't want to run this at those places. But you can do that overnight, and let's say you're a healthy guy and you sleep your 8 hours. You get around 200 carrots. If you're on a stage where you one-shot everything, you get about 200 carrots per hour. So math that up, if you just do that for 3 nights while sleeping, you will have all the carrots you need to actually get this skin. I don't really have much carrots, as I told you. I didn't really do anything, but as you can see, it was barely a little more than an hour and I got nearly 100 already. And that's not with me going for the low stages, that's me with trying to push a little bit on the stages so I can better show off. Make sure to have the rerun on, the repeat button, when you go in idle mode, else it will just push to the latest stage and then repeatedly farm the stage you can farm without dying a single time. And you won't do a lot of carrots there because you need basically all your power to clear any enemy. So yeah, about that event, you wanna try to get her and you wanna try to get the SS armor right after that. Since there is not much time, and I'm assuming you are kinda new to the game as well and you probably didn't farm a lot of carrots, at least try to get the skin. And if you don't see yourself getting up to 5k again, that's alright. Try to get the tickets. You don't usually need the crystal nor the rune tickets, but you should try to get the orb, the relic and the sigil one. Priority is the relic ones, after that the sigil ones, and then the orb ones. That's the priority for the tickets you want to go for. Simply because relic gives you base stats right away, sigil gives you more stats right away, but a little less than the relic does, at least at the early game. And the orb ticket is just for promotion, but well, it's important, but also it takes some time and is pretty much capped at some point anyway. So you don't have to worry too much about the orb tickets. It's just nice to have them because you will be stuck with orbs quite a ton until you hit about 1000. And once you hit 1000, you will have quite a good time to farm up to 30 million or like everything before that until you hit 1500 for the next promotion. So you don't have to worry too much about that. So let's go to the specials. Basically what you want to do, the first things first, you want to max out experience, and right after that you want to max out your gold increase. Simply because you really want the max level you can get and the much gold you can have. We go on with skills later on, but because you want gold for this tree, obviously. The reason for that is you have a lot of quests, and those quests give you a good bunch of rewards, and you want to get those rewards, but you need gold to accumulate them. Also, later on, you will have super crit and hyper crit chance and damage, and like for late game, I will show you stats here. For late game, you don't really care about the crit rate nor the super crit rate. Those two stats, you really don't just care about them. The only two stats or three stats you really care about is hyper crit rate, your base attack, and the hypercritical damage. So those three stats you want to be as high as possible. How you do that? Well, there's a few ways. So for potential, you wanna go for attack potential all the way. If you get a high rated normal attack, that's why I kept it here, you wanna stick with the normal attack for now and later on swap it out. But it is okay to have some normal attack in. You shouldn't go only normal attack because attack potential is just beyond the best thing you can have. And for potentials, what you gotta look at is you have 3 presets, okay? So what you wanna try is have one preset for pushing, so that's basically where you put all the damage in, like all attack potential as high as you can. Then you want one preset for farming. So we go ahead and push here, so yeah, perfect example. We get experience gain and gold drop. You wanna have those, and you can get some movement speed in there as well for speed farming lower tiers, for the carried event for example. But what you really want to try is get as much experience and gold drop percent in there as you can. And for the third preset, you are kind of free to go to try out stuff, like try to go for skill damage, try whatever you want. The third pre-skill you don't really need to use at the moment, at least. Yeah, so you want one pushing set, you want one for farming. I won't go ahead and go higher there, but it's just for showing. You don't want low percents, you want at least S tier or higher. Yeah, so that's about the potential. So let's go back to the skill tree. Yeah, so you start out with EXP. After that you go for gold drop right away. Once you got that, you should be able, like when you got the gold maxed, you should be able to see more tabs down here. And there will be a few you want. Let me go ahead and tell you which. I'll just log on my phone real quick so I can tell you which one exactly, so I don't talk bullshit. Okay, let's see. So we got crit attack here. So after that you have skills, like those 3 skills are skill damage upgrades. Those are those 3. You got Force Hammer, you got Odin's, I don't know the name to be honest in English, I gave it to German on my main game, and you got Brunhilde. So what you want to do is get Brunhilde's skill up first. The reason for that is Brunhilde's skill is basically the skill you use if you want to push a wave really hard. It's the highest cooldown, but basically what it does is doing every attack you do AoE. So basically if I one-shot one of those creeps, I will one-shot the whole wave. So that skill is insanely good, especially if you want to push tower and stuff like that. So yeah, you want that as high as you can. So moving on, you want to go for Force Hammer and then Odin's. The reason is Odin's does AoE damage, but Force Hammer is basically for single target, so it's for boss fights basically to get a little bit more damage in there. After that, there will be around, that should be this one, there will be ability damage boost. You want to boost that all the way as well. That's an extra 200% more ability damage, so that's really good. After that, there is damage against boss monster tab on the level 400. That one is the next one you go for. After that, there is drops for items. You don't want to go for that. Instead, there will be right ahead of this one should be like the second 300 one. It is cooldown reduction for the 3 skills. All the way up, it is 20% skill cooldown reduction, and you wanna go for that. And then just wait up until you hit 600. Unfortunately, my main account isn't 600 yet, so I cannot tell you which skills exactly you will have there, but just keep that in mind. So, next thing, I didn't spend any gems at all yet on this account. I just got all the gems I can get everywhere, just to be kind of prepared. So first things first, what you want to buy with gems. For sure, summons is really important in this game. So you want to spend a lot here, but there's something you want to go for first, and it's quite expensive. You got 2 skins here. You can pay with money or with gems. I beg you, do not use money on those, because if you really wanna buy those with money, what you can do is go to the pass, for example, and once you have finished up one whole char here, for 10 you get 90,000 gems. So that's a much better price, and you can nearly buy both for just 10 bucks instead of 30 bucks. So please don't buy those like that. But you get, as you can see, I just played Barrier more than an hour and I got more than 150k. So we go ahead and buy those 2 skins. That's really the first thing we wanna do. We can choose one skin here now, and that gives us a permanent damage boost forever, regardless of which preset we use, regardless of anything. Also, it gives us EXP gain and gold drop. Those are insanely good skins for startup. So once you got those skins, basically all you really can push your gems into is summon at the moment. So now is the question, which summon do you want to use? I recommend you using the companion one first. There's multiple reasons for that. For gear, you basically only have 3 tabs for gear, okay? That means it is easier to max out each piece of gear, and also to get it fulfilled with the transcend and stuff like that, and get the potential up and so on. But you have 6 slots here. Oh, I actually have more here now. So you have 6 slots here to actually use up. So it is much harder to get the companions completely pushed out to the maximum. So therefore, I really recommend you to go for companions first. Companions have insane boosts. For example, here we get gold drops plus 500%. Here as well 300%. Here as well 300% for experience gain. And here we have skill damage, for example, or movement speed. So basically those characters give you insane boosts. The gear gives you good boosts as well. For example, the swords give you attack boost, the hands give you gold drop boosts, and the boots give you XP boost. But still you get quite a good amount of gear without spending anything gem-wise on the equipment. The point where I recommend you to go for equipment is once you hit around level 30 here. When you hit level 30 here, then it's a good time to get your equipment at least to 25, so around here, and then you should go back to equipment and to companions and get it all the way up to 50. That's what I recommend you. So we go ahead and just spend like the few gems that we have to open up some packs. Then I'll show you the next thing we're going to do. Alright, so the pulls were quite good. We got a few S tier companions, and yeah, I mean, S tier isn't that high tier, but it's really important, especially in the early game, to gear up your companions. So what you wanna do, even though it's a D tier, you will never ever use him. You wanna go ahead and promote him as high as you can. And you wanna do that for every single character. You wanna get every single character maxed out. You wonder why now, probably. So that's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and finish those off as well. Okay, so we got as many stars as we can on all D tiers. Oh, actually there's one more, sorry. Okay, now. We go ahead and go to the collection. The reason we do this is simply because we get bonus stats here. For example, we got those 3 heroes in combination, so if we activate this buff, we do 10% more damage against boss monsters. Here we got 20% normal attack boost, damage boost. Yeah, so there's basically a lot of different buffs, so that's why you wanna max out all those little ones as far as you can. For example, here we got attack collection, so if we go ahead and upgrade him as well as high as we can go back to the collection and see, okay, we can upgrade it, and just like that we get 100% more attack. And we need to push our attack as high as we can without wasting too many resources. So you really want to go ahead and get as many stars and maxed out everything as far as you can, as fast as you can. Same goes for equipment. So basically you want to go ahead and upgrade the equipment as well, but first I'm gonna show you the same goes for transcends. So you may wonder why there is even like this or this currency, because late game you will only use those for the high tier items you use. But simply if you transcend all the equipment, that's an extra bonus as well. And as you can see, just like that we get 5% more gold drop. Doesn't sound that much, but if you take together like every single thing until here, that's hundreds and hundreds of percents extra just for maxing out the low gear that wouldn't give a lot high tier if you synthesize it anyway. So go ahead, try to max it out, and once you maxed it out, then you can go ahead and synthesize at least till the point of your maxed level and then upgrade from there on. And that goes for SS tiers as well as for L tiers. So you really want to max out every single equipment piece you can. So you start by the lowest and go ahead and go for the highest, as well as for companions. That's really important. So if you did all that, you're already really good to go. Basically the only real thing you still can do now is really just keep going with your vault, try to push the tower as often as you can, go ahead and upgrade your heroes a little bit. As you can see, for example, if I upgrade this hero to, this companion to level 100, we unlock one potential slot, so we can go ahead, go to potentials and get potential boosts here as well. So we go ahead and we try to get some good buff in here. Let's speed this up a little bit. Normal damage 8%, not good. Attack speed 2.4%, not good. Go ahead, normal damage, not good. Go ahead, normal attack. So since I don't have too many coins anymore to reroll, as mentioned before, normal attack is okay as placeholder. You wanna go ahead and get attack potential in there as soon as possible, but since I run low on coins and I got quite a few heroes to still get potential in, I will keep the attack for now. So as you can see, we got around 50 trillion damage just from the 8k flat we just got there. So that's a huge boost. I mean, okay, I got a little few percents as well from the levels. It was like 1-2 levels still. But yeah, as you can see, it helps a lot. So yeah, and you really want to go ahead and upgrade it all. You don't need to put levels in, that one was just a misclick. You really want to go ahead and upgrade as much as you can, especially those, for example. simply because you will use those EXP heroes a long time. I can show you, for example, in the ranking list, first place at the moment is Xion, and as you can see, he's still using the red hero and the purple hero for EXP boost, because it goes a long way. Those experience points you cannot get anywhere else. You need those specific heroes for those. So you really want to max him out so you can go as high as possible for extra XP farming. So what they're doing is they have an XP loadout, as I showed you before, with like having the potential with EXP and so on, and have it on low power running, and just have the wave the highest as they can clear with the loadout they're using, and farm it out, simply to farm as many EXP as they can. There is like this golden middle thing where it is not worth to go too low, because the experience you get there is not worth farming, but also going too high and taking too long is not worth. So there should be like this middle point where you don't like suffer from too much damage loss, in case to just get as much experience gain you can get. You really want to find that golden middle where you can place in as much experience extra as you can, but still be able to clear a really high wave. Yeah, so that's basically all you kinda need to know for the start of the game. Try to fulfill all the quests you can, try to finish those off. At some point you will have a permanent loop of quests where you basically kill 1000 enemies, go on attributes. You have then to fulfill like 50 level on one of the levels here. Go ahead and do that, and just play the permanent loop of quests. Yeah, and keep leveling. It's really important to have a high level in early game, simply because of this promotion system, because you get a ton of stats for free. So I wish you good luck, I hope you learned something. Please don't forget, this power save mode is insanely good, simply because you get about 10 times more carrots out of this, and items and experience and gold, if you have the power save mode on, instead of closing the game at all. So keep that in mind, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, even though it took quite a long time now. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. If you have any ideas, if you think I forgot something really important, please let me know. But I think I covered really all the basics and where you should use your gems on for beginners. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.